What it do is the Big Chef will watch the damn tape. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe button. Hit that bell to get notified when I drop my next video. New subscribers, I thank you for watching. Hope you get something out of the content. To my old subscribers, thank you for continuing to rock with your boy and help me build this platform. Since these games were so close, man, I just had to sit there and take a look at both of them at the same time because I knew one game would affect the other. And that Sparks game pissed me off to the highest order. Comfortable lead, and you let Kelsey Plum go nuts in the fourth quarter and make big plays. But where they lost the game to me was in the paint. In the paint, Los Angeles scored 42 points in the paint, and the Fever only got 28. In this game, Aaliyah Boston was 4 of 13, and she only had 12 points. Kelsey Mitchell had a good game, 20 points. Natasha Howard with 13. They got a solid contribution from Ari McDonald with 14 points, and Sophie Cunningham had 10. Wish Ari McDonald had started, to be honest. Should have started in this game. The thing where they lose me at, it's always Aaliyah Boston. You just came off of a 30-piece against Seattle. And one thing about Aaliyah Boston, you can get in her head. And once you get in her head, it's a wrap. She totally checks out. And I watched this game, and she checked out. If a foul isn't going her way, she's complaining. Loses focus. And it's not just Aaliyah Boston. It's everybody in the league. For some reason, the ones that can't handle, they check out. They just check out. And Aaliyah Boston, she's that girl. When they played the Aces, Asia Wilson got in her head. She checked out. She should handle everything like she handled the ref in the Seattle Storm game. Got an explanation and moved on to the next play. It's basketball. Everything's not going to go your way all the time. But that's what really, really got me with that game. I mean, Los Angeles balled. I mean, make no mistake, Rickea Jackson, 14 points. I wish they had a wing on the Fever that was like Rickea Jackson. De'Erica Hamby, 14 points. And the weird thing about it is, Aaliyah Boston was guarded by De'Erica Hamby so much. And I'm like, you should be abusing De'Erica Hamby. I mean, she would back in Azra Stevens, and Azra Stevens is at least as tall as her, if not taller, but she's light. You had no problem going at Azra Stevens, but for some reason you would not go at De'Erica Hamby with that same intensity. And that's one thing about the WNBA. The reason why you see these come from behind wins by these teams is just because of that. Lack of intensity when you come out at halftime. It's always the third quarter. The third quarter is always a mental meltdown in the third quarter with a lot of the teams that are up, and they struggle to regain their composure in that fourth, and the other team comes back and win. And that's what happened with Los Angeles. It was a total meltdown, and I blame a lot of that also on the hands of Stephanie White. Stephanie White, all the lingering stuff, it all came into play in this game. This game was the culmination of the entire week. Drama filled, and the drama unfolded on the court, and they lost mental focus and allowed Kelsey Plum to be kind of a facilitator in the first half and then turn into I'm just going to take the game over in the second, hit big shots. But that was that game. The Friday night game was almost the mirror of the Sparks game. I mean, The only difference is they got down and dirty and got in that damn paint. 48 points in the paint, even though Dallas scored 42. I mean, Dallas is figuring it out as well. They're just not as talented a team, and they got a terrible coach. But I mean, Lexi Hall didn't really do much. 3 points. Natasha Howard with 15. Aaliyah Boston with 21. 9 of 14. Got in that paint. Kelsey Mitchell balled. Balled. 32 was taking it to the rack strong. I mean, sometimes you just got to get to that rack and force the action. You got to force those refs to call those fouls. You got to try to get and ones. Get these teams in foul trouble. You don't hardly ever see anybody in the W foul out of a game. People will have 4 and 5 fouls in the third and fourth quarter, and they'll make it through a whole game and not foul out. Not much from the bench. Was glad in this game they sat Sydney Colson's ass down and had Sydney Colson coming off the bench. It's nothing worse than just a point guard that can't really shoot and is only a facilitator and doesn't facilitate at a high level to where you can say, wow, she's like Stockton. No, like stock pot. Just hold the ball, make a little pass, here and there, get an assist, and you might end up with 3 or 4. And you play in big minutes, you only end up with 3 or 4. But she definitely came off the bench, and Ari McDonald played well in the minutes that she got. Had 13, had 6 assists. I mean, Ira McDonald is a blessing in disguise for Indiana. They picked up the defense intensity in this game. It wasn't the same as it was in against Las Vegas at home. They weren't letting these guys come back and get and bite them in the ass and get that little easy win. It just, I mean, you can't go 2 days in a row and you f off a game in the final minutes. But it got contentious towards the end. But you got to think about it. Stephanie White has proven herself to be a bad coach, and Chris Kalanis is definitely a bad coach, aka Lord Beckett. For people that don't know, Chris Kalanis is Lord Beckett because when it's cratering and it's crashing, he's just sitting there looking confused like Lord Beckett in the Pirates of the Caribbean. But yeah, Kalia Charles with 2 points, Melissa Smith with 7. I still don't understand the Melissa Smith. Yuri, 7 points. Arika Ugunwale, 15. 5 of 12. And Paige Beckers with a 27-piece. Shot well. Paige, fun to watch. Paige is fun to watch. 6 assists. And the sad thing is she ain't played tonight and they won. That's the sad thing about that. But this game in particular, yeah, 86 points by the Wings, 94 by the Fever. Minor contributions from Sophie Cunningham with 5 points, Sydney Colson with 2, Timpson with 3, and Timpson got 13 minutes. And it was like, wow, you do actually have feet, and you can actually move. You can actually play in the game instead of coming at the end of the second quarter, or the end of the fourth quarter to close out a game when it's in scrub time. You actually can play minutes inside of a game. It was good to see. They're going to need her going forward. Brianna Turner gives them nothing. I don't know why they just don't make a damn move and get her ass off the roster. I don't know what she's got against the organization, what evidence she's got, but it's time to move her. It's time to move her. This is how they're supposed to play. Getting in that paint. Get physical. Get to the basket. Get to the free throw line. That's how this Fever team is constructed, because they damn sure ain't constructed to run and gun. Too slow. Too slow. Unless you got Lexi Hall and Cunningham out there same time running with Caitlin Clark. Howard ain't running like that, and Aaliyah Boston ain't running like that. They're built this team as a half court team. for this season until they get rid of Stephanie White's butt. But I just had to talk about both these games because I thought it was such an interesting thing that they were both exactly the same. It was just down to execution at the end of the game. What what made them win on Friday and lose against the Sparks on Thursday? It's just execution and wanting it more than the other team, and they wanted it more Friday than they did on Thursday, and they got lax and they got bit in the butt. It's just that's just what it was. That's what I thought. I'd love to know what you guys thought about both these games since they were so close. I just wanted to do them together. It didn't make no sense to make two different videos. That Sparks that Sparks game was god awful. God, I'm glad they rebounded. If they had a lost 2 games straight, they would probably be burning down the Gainbridge Arena right now. It would still be smoldering because it just you just can't have it. You just can't have it. You got it in June on a positive, and luckily for them, they did that. They got out of June with an above 500 record. That's all you can ask for. Now you just got to go into July with the same mindset, same focus, and try to make it and win some games without Caitlin Clark, who's probably going to be out for an extended period of time. That's all you can do. But let me know your thoughts. Leave your comments below, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.